So Leeds United won, Leicester City won in a result that, let's be honest, it doesn't really do much for either side. I think both teams wanted to win this match and probably needed to win this match as well, because the fact both teams drew, if anything, it just helped Southampton, Everton and Forest below them. Neither side picking up the victory. I mean, we can analyse this game, how both teams played, the big players that turned up, the big players that didn't turn up. But the fact of the matter is, it's got to the end of the season now where you just need points. That's it. You just need the points on the board now. No more of this. Oh, what could have been? The performances are there. Those are the plus points. It's just got to the part of the season where results are key. Results are just key, man. And neither side picked up the result they needed. I mean, I thought, but in parts of this game, both teams played really well. And if they want to take anything going forward, they probably can take forward the fact that there was good signs from both sides. But you're playing against a team towards the bottom of the table. It is, in definition, a relegation 6-pointer. Both sides needed to win this football match. And neither side could pull it out the bag. I think both sides had chances. And they've lived to regret it. They've lived to regret it. Who knows what happens? I think the real side celebrating after this one will be the West Ham's, sorry, not the West Ham's, the Nottingham Forests of the world, the what's it called, the Southamptons and the Evertons. Disappointing day to be a Palace fan. It is indeed, man. It is indeed. But look, Wolves away is a tough game now. The Lopetegui, they're quite a good outfit, and it's one of those days. I think Palace is going to be completely fine this season. To be honest, I don't see them really getting relegated by any stretch of the imagination. I think they'll be completely fine. And it's one of those things. You lose the game, you're going to bounce back from it, Palace. I wouldn't be too worried whatsoever. I watched the first 30 minutes of that match. The Joachim Andersen own goal, though, that's criminal. The brother's facing away from the goal. Like, surely he's a defender. Like, and I'll give Joachim Andersen a lot of praise because I think he's done brilliant for Crystal Palace this season. But Ruben Neves is whipping the corner, one of the best set piece takers in this league. And you're standing facing the goal. Like, that makes no sense to me. Surely he's a defender. You're either square on, so you can see the ball coming, but then your body position is like, I'd say 45 degrees, right? So you're 45 degrees body position. So you're looking at the ball, but also you're able to head it out. But he's standing like this. Like, the ball's hit his leg and gone in. Like, it's the most criminal thing ever from Joachim Andersen. But look, I'm not going to get on his back too much because he's been brilliant this season for Palace. I think he's been one of their better players. Honestly, he's so good, man. His balls at the back is unbelievable. But it's one of those days, just wasn't a great day for Palace at the office. A case of, as you were, appreciate coming to the stream as always, Tommy. Needed a winner, really. It did indeed. And I think both sides kind of summed up their season, right? In a way, I think Leicester City, first of all, Tielemans, I feel sorry for Tielemans. He scored one of the goals of the season. One of the goals of the season after like 7 minutes. The ball comes out to him on the edge of the box and he just puts his foot through it and it soars into the top corner. Honestly, no keeper on planet Earth is going to save it. But it's ruled offside. It's correctly ruled offside. Make no mistake about it. Soumare was offside. But it's one of those ways you feel bad for him because honestly, it's a wonder strike. But then after that, Leicester were here and there. Like, for a game they need to pick up 3 points from, I thought they'd actually like have more confidence. They came off fresh off a victory, but didn't really establish themselves in the game. I think Leeds actually got the better of them past the first disallowed goal from Tielemans. And they scored a brilliant goal, man. I mean, for two teams that are like flirting relegation and teetering ever so close to getting relegated, there was 2 quality goals today, like genuinely very good goals. The Leeds United one, great link-up play, first of all. And then I believe it's Weston McKennie plays a killer pass through to Jack Harrison. It's a brilliant pass, man. And then Harrison, on his left foot, whips it in back post. Luis Sinisterra there to head into the back of the net. It's a brilliant goal, man. Honestly, a brilliant header. Well-worked goal for Leeds. But in the second half, Leicester were pushing. Leeds could not get the second goal to pull away. And the goal they scored, this one was another brilliant one, man. This time it was Leicester that scored it. Iheanacho received the ball. He gets injured. He gets absolutely taken out from behind. It was the right thing to do. I'm one of the people that always is an advocate for good fouls in the right areas. Tactical fouls. I think it's one of the best things you can do. Tactical foul at the right time. And they tried to do it on Iheanacho. But the problem is they didn't actually ground the guy. They just fouled him and they ended up injuring him. But he kept the ball and he played it through to Maddison, I believe. And Maddison, this touch is glorious, man. Just a right-footed prod into the path of Jamie Vardy, onside to sweep it into the back of the net, man. Brilliant, brilliant finish. Both really good goals. Really, really good goals. But then at the death, Leeds United, man. Like, they had 2 very good chances to win it. Maybe 3. I mean, Mark Rocker from the header has to put it into the back of the net. Like, it literally hits the keeper Everson in the face. If he goes either side of it, it's in the back of the net. Then Anderson, through on goal, man. Oh, sorry, not Anderson. Aronson, through on goal. Just doesn't. It hits the keeper's legs. And then at the end, this is a pick of the bunch. Patrick Bamford on his right peg. You just have to put it into the back of the net, my son. But he doesn't. He scuffs in. He goes wide of the net. And it just kind of sums up both teams, really. Neither side can get a win when they needed it most. Jeff, I appreciate coming to the stream as always. Both sides could have won it at the end. Agree. Neither did, and just shows why they're in the relegation battle. Exactly. Summed up exactly what I was saying, word for word, hit the nail on the head. Both Palace and Wolves are safe, agree, and I think they will both finish ahead of Chelsea. Controversial, but could be true. I think the midfield battle, let's be real about it, is not one I'm really looking at with too much interest. Like Chelsea, Palace, Wolves, they're done enough to stay up. Palace and Wolves, I think at times they were flirting relegation. I know Wolves before the World Cup were like bottom of the table or something until Lopetegui came in. And I know when Palace had Vieira, there was times when people were saying, oh, they might be in a relegation battle as well. But both teams done enough to stay up. They'll be fine. Whether they finish above Chelsea or not, I'm not too sure. I don't think any of those teams are getting Europe. Chelsea's been a horrible season from start to finish. They're going to need to change it around. I hear Mauricio Pochettino will be coming in. We'll talk more about that towards the latest half of the stream for sure, when more of you lot's questions come in. But for now, I'm going to focus on the relegation battle. That's what today was. Today was a relegation battle. Tomorrow's the title race. The day after, there's a race for top 4. That's what it's like on this channel, man. But yeah, it's one of those things. I think Palace will be able to bounce back from it. Wolves played good again today. They're not going to fly up any further up the table. It's just good to see them have some kind of consistency now, Lopetegui, because they want to be able to mount some kind of challenge next season for the European spots, maybe Europa Conference, because they want to build up a sustainable model under that manager. So let's see what comes from it, man. Bamford, oh dear indeed, man. Like if you're a striker for relegated, threatened side, you got to take your chances, man. And that was a gilt-edged chance. Like he's gonna have nightmares tonight. I don't think he's gonna be able to sleep. He's gonna have to overdose on sleeping tablets or something to go to sleep, because that was a terrible miss, man. But they had 3 clear-cut chances. Like genuinely, Mark Rocker before, free as a bird in the box. You head it either side of the keeper and it's in the back of net. He heads it at the keeper's face. Like it's that unlucky because the keeper didn't even have time to put his hands up. Literally, look how big a goalkeeper's head is, yeah, in comparison to a goal. The head of a goalkeeper covers up, what, 0.5% of the goal? And he's managed to hit it square in the keeper's head. Not even off the side, so it hits the keeper's head and goes to the back of net. Because Everson didn't have enough time to put his hands up. He literally just headed it and it went bang off his head. It's unlucky, man. It's one of those things. Then Aronson threw on goal, can't put it away. And then Bamford as well, criminal at the end, man. Can't tuck away the finish. But then again, on the other side of the pitch, now Vardy scored the second goal and it was offside. And I'm gonna have a little words about Jamie Vardy with this, because he's a striker that's 36 years old, I want to say, touching 37. You got to be able to keep on side there, man. You got to be able to remain on side. Like you're an established striker in this league. You're not some youngster. You're watching a line the whole way. You don't need to venture offside either. Like you had so much space. I don't know what he's doing, to be honest. Should the Palace keeper have been sent off? To be fair, I stopped watching the Palace game after 30 minutes. So you're gonna have to tell me the incident. So I didn't see it. Well, I stopped watching it after about 20 minutes actually. But yeah, I didn't see the incident. So let me know what happened. I'll be able to give my thoughts on it. I only care about mid-table order because I hate Chelsea. Well, there we go. If you hate Chelsea, that kind of makes sense. And I guess the football fans will banter Chelsea if they finish below Palace and below Wolves, etc. For me, I think everyone knows that this is a car crash season from Chelsea, and it can only get better from here because it can't get worse. Let's be honest about it. It can't get much worse than it has this season for Chelsea. It's one of those things. Villa are flying up to 5th, I believe, now. And it's good to see. Emery's a quality manager and was probably treated harshly by Arsenal. See, this is a point that a lot of people made about Unai Emery now. Was Arsenal right to sack Unai Emery? And this is my thoughts on it right now. I actually talked about this yesterday when I was speaking about the other managers involved in the Premier League and stuff, and just all around world football. You can be a good manager, but not a right manager for a club, if you get what I'm saying. For example, I believe Unai Emery is a top manager, just like I believe David Moyes is a top manager, just like I believe managers like, I don't know, Brendan Rodgers is a good manager, for example. Antonio Conte is a brilliant manager. But are they the right manager for certain clubs? Unai Emery was not the right manager for Arsenal. He wasn't. What did he do? He didn't lose composure. He didn't give up. He went back to Spain, went back to his roots, managed Villarreal, did brilliant there. Then when Aston Villa came knocking, he took the job, and now he's recovered. And he's done brilliantly for Aston Villa. He's proven what a good manager he is. David Moyes did brilliantly at Everton. Not a lot of people would remember because, I mean, it's when I first started watching football, he was managing Everton. He did brilliantly there. The Manchester United job offer came to him, and Manchester United is the biggest club in England, so he took it. And he said he came on the podcast afterwards and said that he doesn't regret taking it, but he wished he took more thought over it. He just kind of impulse took the job because it's Manchester United, and it did ruin him a little bit. He lost his confidence with the Man United team because the drop off from Sir Alex Ferguson to any manager was gonna happen. It was inevitable. To be as good as Sir Alex Ferguson is damn near impossible, and he was nowhere near as good as Sir Alex Ferguson. So the drop off happened, and he was never really able to recover from it. To be completely honest, David Moyes. He's gone to different clubs, etc. He's now found himself a home at West Ham, where he could win a European competition, but it took him a little time to recover from it. So it can happen. You can take a job that's too big for you. You can take a job that where the club doesn't necessarily fit your needs. Doesn't mean you're a bad manager whatsoever. And I think Unai Emery has proven that, man. He was right to get sacked from Arsenal. I was one of the people to say he has to go, but never once like doubt his football managing ability. Like he took Arsenal to a Europa League final while finishing 1 point off top 4. Like it's good. Like he did well especially for the squad he had. But yeah, he just wasn't the right manager for Arsenal. That's what I believe. But he's done brilliantly with Aston Villa, and I wish him the absolute best, man. I wish him the absolute best. I'd love for them to make Europe. Definitely ahead of Tottenham. Villa for Europa League, amazing season. It has, and what a recovery season under Steven Gerrard. Now the question comes, right? If they had Unai Emery from the start of the season, where would Aston Villa finish? Let me know in the live chat. Where do you believe Aston Villa would finish if they had Unai Emery from the start of the season? Equally, let me know where you think Chelsea would finish if they had Graham Potter from the start of the season. Because I think those would be two different conversations, to be honest. So let me know where you think Aston Villa would finish if they had Unai Emery from the start, and where Chelsea would finish if they had Graham Potter from the start of the season. And now they've got Lampard, obviously. But you know what I mean? Like, for hypotheticals, let me know. He flew into tackle with Studs up. The keeper did that, bloody hell. It could have been nasty. Well, I didn't see the incident, but if it is Studs up on a tackle, it depends where it hits. If it hits anywhere like around the ankle / like shin part area, it's a red card. If it's high with Studs up, it's a red card. But yeah, maybe I'll see it on replays afterwards. But yeah, if a keeper's doing that, bloody hell, it must have been a last-ditch challenge. I would say it was the wrong time when Emery was there. Yes, wrong time, but also wrong manager as well. I just don't think Unai Emery was an Arsenal-type manager. Unai Emery is a cross between being pragmatic and playing okay, decent football. He doesn't play beautiful football. Arsenal's a football club that's always had managers that like to play beautiful football. Arsene Wenger. Okay, George Graham days may be different. He was a bit more pragmatic, but Arsene Wenger, since Arsene Wenger came to the club, the whole DNA of Arsenal Football Club has been beautiful football, entertaining football. That's not Unai Emery's style. That's not where he thrives. For him to manage Arsenal, he'd have to adapt his style. At Aston Villa, no offense to Aston Villa is still a massive club. And a lot of Aston Villa fans will probably feel a bit hard done by me saying this. You are a humongous club. I know all the European competitions you won, etc. One of the biggest clubs in England. But you haven't got as much pressure on you if you manage Aston Villa. Have you got if you manage Arsenal? It's just fact of the matter. Matter of the fact. So if you manage Aston Villa, you can afford to be a bit more pragmatic, be a bit more defensively oriented, not be forced to take the game to the opponent, and not be kind of forced to impose your style on the game in a beautiful football attacking sense. So I think that suits him. I think Emery likes being an underdog manager, a manager that can sit back and counter-attack. He likes playing that style of football. He doesn't like being the manager that plays like Pep Guardiola or Arteta, where he's forced to impose himself on the game and play nice football. And you know what I mean? Possession style, like Arsenal fans are used to, and like Arsenal's DNA kind of inherits. That's not his style. So Unai Emery, I wish him the best, and he is a top manager, but he wasn't an Arsenal manager. That's always been my thoughts on it. And yeah, anyone can feel free to disagree, but that's why I think to manage a team like Arsenal, you got to be a special type of manager, a manager that plays beautiful football at the same time as getting results. And Arteta is exactly that. He comes from the prodigy of Pep Guardiola. He knows what it's about, man. So yeah, I think he's, as they say in the NBA and NFL, it's a good trade for both parties in a way. Aston Villa got Unai Emery, he's thriving there. We got Arteta now, he's working brilliantly for us. It's best of both worlds. We're both thriving from it. I think red would have been harsh for Palace goalkeeper. Lunged in towards the ball, went over the top and into the shin of Wolves player. I've seen red before for this though. But that's the thing, right? Red card or not, we do have to say that the inconsistency amongst referees is terrible. And I'm not one that gets on referees. Those of you that have been around the streams before know that. I rarely talk about like referees because I honestly believe if you're a good enough football club, the referee shouldn't matter. Like you should take the game out of the equation of the referee, especially given that VAR is here now. So you've got all the offside, like wrong offsides taken apart and all that stuff. So everything is to the rule book. But I do have to say the inconsistency is poor from the referees at times, man. Like I see handballs one week and I see handballs the next week that should have been given that weren't given. And sometimes soft handballs are given and sometimes handballs that are nowhere near a handball are given. So I don't get it. Like I'm asking for some kind of consistency, but it doesn't seem to come, to be honest, with the refs. I wonder when it will come. I wonder when the Premier League starts using referees from overseas. They seem to be insistent on using English referees. Oh, come on, man. Come on. Like, it's the best league in the world. Have the best referees in the world. That's just my opinion on it. And refine the rule book as well, because I feel like we're redefining the rules every week. Like, I feel sorry for Peter Walton and who's Dermot Gallagher, the head referee that always goes on Sky Sports. That they're being asked to explain stuff that they don't even know the answer to. They're basically just saying, "Oh yeah, you're right, but the rules mean this." The rule book's getting redefined every week, so I think it needs a bit more consistency, a bit more transparency with the rules, and go from there. To be honest, because It feels sad that when VAR was introduced, it was introduced to get rid of all the debate around referees and controversial decisions in football. Yet the ironic thing is, ever since VAR has been introduced, more conversation has been around referees and VAR. That's the funny thing, man. So look, it's one of those things. I just hope it changes for the future. But let's see, baby steps. I'm confident it will change, but I'm not going to be someone that's too optimistic and thinks it's going to change overnight. Baby steps towards the outcome. Is it a mistake having so many Prem games on at the same time? Tomorrow, for example, West Ham versus Liverpool at the same time as Arsenal versus Manchester City. And Chelsea Brentford as well at the same time. Yes. Why? I've been one of the biggest people calling for staggering Premier League games. Like, why is there so many at 3 o'clock anyway? It should be a game on Friday, a game on Monday, and then it should be 4 games on Saturday, 4 games on Sunday. 12 o'clock, 2:30, 5 o'clock, 7:30 on Saturday and Sunday. That's how it should be. And then a game Friday at 8 p.m. and a game Monday at 8 p.m. Why there's multiple games at 3 p.m.? Why there's multiple games at the same time is beyond me. The only time the game should be played at the same time is on the final day of the season, for fairness. Every other time of the season, it should be staggered times. And I'm saying get rid of the 3 p.m., get rid of the blackout, 12 o'clock, 2:30, 5 o'clock, 7:30. Those are the kickoff times, Saturday and Sunday, and then at 8 p.m. on a Friday and at 8 p.m. on a Monday. Every game on TV. That's how I think it should be. Let me know if you agree. Give us subscription service. So first of all, okay, I'm going to have a massive rant about this, so a quick one before I move back onto the game. How I think they should do it is just like how the NBA and NFL do it, because they do it brilliantly. What happens is, there should be a Premier League app, right, in the UK, a Premier League everywhere, in fact, worldwide, a Premier League app, right, and it shows all the games. So you bun off Sky, you bun off BT, Amazon Prime, all these streaming services, and it's just a Premier League app. And what you can do on that Premier League app is you can buy a subscription. You can, for example, buy the Arsenal subscription, meaning for however much money, I'm entitled to watch every Arsenal game this season. You can buy an Arsenal away subscription. Say you've got a season ticket for the home games, or you're entitled to watch every away Arsenal game. You can buy a free team subscription, basically meaning every match week you get to choose 3 games you want to watch, something like that. Or you get the full season pass, where you get to watch every single game of all seasons and you pay the most money. Just like the NBA and NFL do. For example, I support the Cleveland Cavaliers in the NBA. I can buy a Cleveland Cavaliers NBA pass, meaning I get to watch all 82 Cleveland Cavaliers games well, not for free because I paid for it, but that's what my subscription entails. Why on Sky am I paying for every month and paying a lot of money, and then it shows games I don't want to watch sometimes? Yet sometimes my team's on BT Sport Prime or at 3 p.m. It makes no sense, man. Like, when they're gonna wake up? It's prehistoric how they stream the Premier League. And then you go to other countries, for example, so people that aren't even in England can watch every game for a subscription and for less money than Sky and BT and all that stuff. It's an absolute joke. That's just my thoughts on it, man. Can Gerrard be a top manager? Managing Rangers doesn't mean much, does it? He can, but I don't think he ever will. I'm be real, right, honest. I'm going to be honest about this, yeah? And Liverpool fans, I know if there's any Liverpool fans watching, they're going to be very annoyed by me saying this, but it's just my opinion. Steven Gerrard, not once has he ever shown me that he's a real IQ-driven footballer. And a lot of centre midfielders and CDMs become managers because that's one of the biggest IQ positions on the pitch. You need to understand football to be a good CDM. Gerrard was a brilliant footballer, but I never looked at a guy there that genuinely really understood football to the extent that other midfielders around him did. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to be harsh to Donny because he's really good at football, but his quality outweighed his football intelligence for me. There's some players that I saw football intelligence with. Xavi, Iniesta, Arteta even. Pep Guardiola, when he used to play, you watch him and you see they're players that understand football, like they're intelligent footballers. Gerrard was just good at football. I don't think he was necessarily very intelligent, so I don't think he's the right man to be a manager. That's a very controversial opinion. I don't know if anyone's thought about it like that, but that's just how I thought about it. So I look at certain players right now. Ilkay Gundogan, for example, would be a really good manager because I see that guy as a Donny that can understand football. Like, he's a leader on the pitch. Do you know what I mean? I never saw that of Steven Gerrard. Like, I don't see someone that he was a leader. He was a great player. But I never saw someone that really understood football to the depth where he would dictate a game and say, that's where the pass goes. It was more just he relied on his quality more than anything. That's just my thoughts on it. So I don't believe Steven Gerrard will ever be a top manager. I think he'll be a good manager, and he might manage Liverpool one day because he's a legend there. But yeah, I don't think he's reaching the peaks that other managers will, to be completely honest. I know it's harsh, but that's just my opinion on it. Feel free to prove me wrong, Steven. Palace's goalkeeper was just careless with a routine play, and the ball got away from him, leading to a foul and penalty. There we go. Tommy, open up the games in different browsers. I can manage 3 at once before it gets confusing. Well, there we go. Open up the games in multiple browsers. That's the other way of doing it. But I like to concentrate on one match, man. I just like to focus on one proper match, and I can put all my attention on that match and then give my analysis on that match. So I chose Leeds versus Leicester today, obviously with the help of the live chat who told me to focus on that game. So that's what I did. Leeds versus Leicester, 2 teams down the bottom. It was an entertaining game. I thought it was actually a quite interesting game to watch. And Ali McCoy on comms is brilliant as well, by the way, man. I absolutely love that guy to bits. I can't multitask, bro, but get your point. Well, there we go. I just think staggered timing's the best, man. Hey, appreciate you joining the chat, Malia67. Hope you're doing good, brother. I'm doing very well indeed, man. I hope you're well as well. Ollie Watkins needs to be called up for the England squad. This is the thing now, because England got a lot of decent players right there. Because I feel sorry for these strikers because they're never going to get ahead of Harry Kane, by the way. Harry Kane starts for me. Now, Harry Kane needs to be there. He needs to be on the plane. I think, to be honest, I think Rashford's going, not as a striker, but as a left winger. Then you've got a toss-up between Ivan Toney, who deserves to be there. Let's see what happens with his gambling ban. You've got Ollie Watkins, who right now deserves to be there. Then you've got players like Callum Wilson, who should nowhere near be there. Dominic Calvert-Lewin, who shouldn't be there. Bamford, no chance. So I think those are the 3. I might be missing someone, but in terms of the pure strikers, I think it's Kane, Toney, and Watkins. Let me know if I'm missing someone that's escaped my mind for now, but those are the 3 I'm going for, man. That need to be there. I bet Ryan is happy. Who's Ryan Sport? Is he Sport Leeds? I wouldn't be too happy if I'm in, to be honest. The point ain't good enough. These referees are clueless. Yeah, some of them are. And they make up as they go along, to be honest. And it's crazy. Sometimes some of the ludicrous decisions I see with my own 2 eyes, man. With my own 2 eyes. The rumour mill on Rafinha has started again. Rafinha to Arsenal, I don't want to see it, man. I don't want to see it. Nothing against Rafinha. I think Rafinha is a good player, man. And in a right-wing market that is quite open, like anyone can really take over that position. There's not a lot of top right wingers in the world. I've never been a fan of Rafinha. Even at Leeds, I wasn't a big fan of Rafinha. I feel like he's a bit too much of a flair footballer rather than an actual results footballer. Like, he will do the good things, but when it comes to the final shot and pass, I always felt he was lacking it. And obviously that can be coached, but him, Ousmane Dembele, never been a big fan of, man. I'd rather go for someone like Elise for less money, to be completely honest about it. Or bring up someone from the academy, man. Like Mario Cozier Dubry has been talked about. Why not, man? Why not give some more of these academy players a chance? That's what I would say. Big up to Spurs fans, by the way. They started to protest hard against the owners. I don't have sympathy for that club, but fair play to the fans who are trying to make change. Well, here's the thing, right? The players agreed to actually reimburse the fans that went up to the Newcastle game, which is interesting because I've not seen that before. I know a lot of fans have called for it, but I've rarely ever seen them actually get reimbursed. So that's crazy to say, but yeah. Look, sometimes, how I always say it, right? Sometimes you need a really bad result to actually make change. Like, Spurs have played bad for the majority of the season. In fact, the whole season, I said they played really bad football. And the results haven't been great. But the results haven't been great. Like, they've been bad. But that result against Newcastle was terrible. Like, flat out unforgivable. And that's what you need sometimes. You need to lose 5-0 in 20 minutes, 6-1 overall, to really hit the ground so you can really get some heads rolling. Because if they keep losing 1-0 or losing 2-1, say they lost that game 2-1 at Newcastle, yeah, the reaction would not be like this. Sometimes you need to lose bad to have a reaction to spring back up again, get a manager sacked, get some heads rolling, get some players start to look at themselves and go, hang on a minute, we need to piece this together. When United lost 4-0 to Brentford, that was the best thing that happened to them this season. They lost 4-0 to Brentford, they hit ground zero to spring back up again. Trust me, if Man United lose that game to Brentford 1-0 or 2-1, they don't have the season they're having today. I'll fight anyone on that, bro. I'll debate that against any United fan. That 4-0 loss to Brentford was the best thing that happened to them in the indirect way. Sometimes you need a bad loss to bounce back. And that's what Spurs have had now. Let's see what happens. Lee Mason's in charge now. Let's see who they get. I mean, I spoke at length yesterday. And check out the video I just posted on my channel. It's a clip about who I believe should be the next Spurs manager. It's a clip from my live stream yesterday when people asked me about Carrick, company, etc. So yeah, that's just my thoughts regarding it. Facts, Malia says. I agree about the games being spaced out. It should indeed, man. It should indeed. Why am I having to pick and choose what game to watch? Because honestly, like, no offense to the games today, right? But I would genuinely would have watched Liverpool West Ham. I think no, not Liverpool West Ham. Who is it? Is it Liverpool West Ham? I can't remember. Yeah, Liverpool West Ham today. I would have watched that game, or West Ham versus Liverpool. I would have watched that game today if it's on. But tomorrow it's stacked, and obviously on Thursday I'm watching Manchester United Tottenham as well. So yeah. Those are the games I'm watching. Tomorrow, of course, is Man City Arsenal. No way am I watching any other game than that. And then Thursday, Tottenham versus Man United. Jamie Vardy giving him a 5-year contract. Absolutely not. Absolutely not, Scott, man. That Donny is past it. He is gone. He scored today, so big up him for that. But yeah, he's past it. Vasco Malia says, I like the sound of that. Sorry, man. The chat goes so quick that I've forgotten what this is in referral to. Gabby from TalkSport brought up a Premiership sub-service. First time I've agreed with Gabby, lol. Well, there we go. Look, that's the opinion I've had, man. Have the Premier League app, so you have the Sky, BT, all that stuff, and you can subscribe to certain matches. You can subscribe to the whole thing if you want to, or subscribe to set teams. That's what I think. We need to revolt against the subscription. That's the thing. Look, the football fans can. Trust me, football fans got a voice. Do you remember when it was a lockdown, right? And Sky, certain games that they weren't meant to show, they were charging like £19.95 for pay-per-view. And it was something ridiculous. It was like Sheffield United versus Bournemouth on £19.95 or something crazy like that. And the football fans were like, no, we're not paying £20 for a pay-per-view to watch a game that we're not even allowed to go to when we've bought Sky and BT, show us the matches. And eventually they gave in and they showed the games. So look, football fans got the power to do so. But let's see if they do it, man. Let's see. What about midweek games? How would that work? There also has to be midweek games because otherwise the season would go from July to August. Midweek games is another thing. Unless you do midweek games from Monday to Friday or something, or you do Tuesday and you do 5 p.m. just like the Champions League does. I'm not too sure. But midweek games, I'll let them off for that one. Lampard and Gerrard will not make Premiership managers. I agree with this one. I agree. Scholes understood football. He did. And he might be a good manager one day, genuinely. Same with Michael Carrick, understood football. That's why I look at these managers, right? And the best managers, I think, personally, and obviously there's some that go against the grain, are not the ones that were technically brilliant at football. Because the ones that are technically brilliant at football probably survive because they're technical brilliance. I look at the managers that weren't necessarily technically gifted, but were in the team because of their IQ, because they understood the game. Arteta was not the best midfielder, nowhere near it. He was far from the best. But the reason he was always in that Arsenal team is because he understood football so well, and he pieced that team from defense to attack. That's why he was in that team, man. And you could tell Donny understood football. I see that with other people playing the game right now. Gundogan, for example. Those type of people that understand football will be managers one day. That's what I believe personally, and they'll be really good managers. They're taking the piss with the subscription. Yeah, they are, man. It costs so much for Sky and BT. Tommy agrees with Scott. Lampard in particular looks lost to me. They all do, to be fair. They all do. I'm not a massive fan of any of those managers, to be completely honest about it. Cost me $50 a month for games. Well, there we go, man. There we go. $50 a month. And look, in the UK, you have to buy what? BT, Sky, Amazon Prime, stream the 3 p.m. games. It's a malarkey, man. It's a malarkey. We don't need all that. We don't need all that, man. Like, why is it so much effort to stream all these games? I don't get it. I do 2 games at 5:30, 2 at 8 p.m. on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Yes, I'd be fine with that. I'd be fine with that. And then the big markets. Like, no offense to certain teams, but the big markets, like for example, Wolves, Crystal Palace paired out with Arsenal, Man City, or put Arsenal, Man City on itself, because the big games people are going to watch. You know what I mean? Like, don't put Liverpool games with Man City games, or Liverpool games with United games, or Arsenal games with Tottenham games. You know what I mean? Like, space them out so the big teams don't play at the same time. Like, it's not rocket science. Everyone will know what games everyone wants to watch. I know Liverpool fans and Chelsea fans tomorrow that are like thinking, oh my God, like I want to watch Arsenal City, but my team's playing at the same time. What do I do? And it's become a problem for them. Like, it's a real shame, man. It's a real shame. I think Leeds is getting relegated. Leicester have Maddison, Vardy, Tielemans, etc. They have a lot of playmakers, but Sinisterra getting hurt really killed Leeds. Well, it's the thing, right? Because I titled this video, Who Gets Relegated? Because it's a point that neither team wants. And if anything, it's a point that Forest, Everton, and Southampton really like. Who gets relegated? For me, I'm not changing my mind right now. Leeds, Nottingham Forest, and Southampton are the 3 teams to go down. I think Leeds will finish 19th. I think Nottingham Forest will finish 18th. I think Southampton will finish 20th. Those are my 3 teams. Let me know yours in the live chat as well. Southampton, Everton, Leeds for relegation is my prediction. Everton getting relegated would be crazy. Absolutely crazy, man. What a scout to get relegated. En route to build a new stadium as well, by the way. So that would be crazy scenes if Everton get relegated, man. Honestly, very crazy scenes. If it happens, it happens. Look, Everton got to play Man City. So if Everton beat Man City, I'll happily support them until the end of the season. In fact, Leeds have got to play Man City as well. If whichever of the teams, Everton or Leeds, gets a result against Man City, I will hope and pray that they survive. That's what I say. If both of them lose, they both deserve to get relegated. That's my thoughts on it. Everton, to be fair, already got a point against Man City. So look, you never know, but we never know, man. Aston Villa is a dark horse of the Premier League. They started the season off horrendously, like 17th place, 18th place, I don't know, and now they are likely in Europe. Well, that's the point I made. If if Aston Villa had Unai Emery from the start of the season, where do you think they finish? I think they finish top 4, like easily. I think they finish 3rd maybe with Unai Emery at the start, because he was cooking, man. Steven Gerrard did a terrible job there. So who knows? He's playing pragmatic football and it works for Aston Villa, man. They're defending well, they're defending deep, but equally I've got that threat with Ollie Watkins. And don't forget, when Unai Emery was Arsenal manager, he wanted to bring Ollie Watkins to Arsenal. He did. He wanted, when he was at Brentford at the time, I believe, He wanted to bring Ollie Watkins to Arsenal. It didn't materialise. The Arsenal board didn't back him anyway. They brought in Pepe when he wanted Zaha. Like, you know what I mean? Just little things that the Arsenal board didn't back Unai Emery about. But I'm happy he's finding joy now. I think he's a really good manager. Token gesture. I'm pretty sure if you're coming from London to Newcastle that you can afford it. Well, yeah. What was that point referred to? I'm not too sure. This is what happens when I'm answering too many questions, but I forget what I'm referring to from 7-8 minutes ago. Vardy is like 35 at 36, now been a great player, but past his best now. 100%, way past his best. And that's the problem Leicester had. They were too nice to him. Too nice to Jamie Vardy. Bearing in mind, they sacked Ranieri when he won the league. Literally, what, like a year later? Jamie Vardy won them a league, yeah? He was falling off. It was clear. Like, he was falling off from about COVID time. COVID time onwards, he was falling off. From then, you should have been looking at a new striker. And a new striker, while you were still Leicester City, while you were still in the Europa League, you could have got a decent striker. Now, no one really wants to go to Leicester anymore. If anything, the players want to leave Leicester. Like Tielemans, Maddison deserves to. He played brilliantly today. So you should have replaced him while you had the time. But you had too much faith in him. You were too nice to him. To be honest, I think you should have moved on from him while you had the time, man. And brought in a good striker while you had. Isak, you could have got him at the time. Now Newcastle got him. What a strike he's been. Isak at Leicester would have fit perfectly for me, man. What does it cost to go to a match? Ticket price. And is the ticket most of the cost, or would a rail ticket be the real expense? So I live in North London, right? So I take the Piccadilly line to go to the Arsenal games. So it costs me, what, £2.50 each way? It's nothing, basically. The ticket depends on the match. It depends on the match, to be honest. There's tiers and bands for different teams. For example, if Arsenal play Nottingham Forest, it's like a tier D game. But if Arsenal play Manchester United, it's a tier A game. And A games cost more than D games. Do you know what I mean? And it varies. It varies, to be completely honest. I think you guys may draw tomorrow 2-2, 1-1, or lose 3-1. If we don't lose, the title's still on. If we lose, the title's over. If we win, the title's in. I think we're going to win the title. If we draw, it's touch and go. I just don't want to lose that game. Don't lose that game, Arsenal, man. Please. I'm worried. I'm genuinely very worried. It could go terribly. We could get thumped. Like, genuinely, like, Arsenal fans were laughing at Tottenham. I didn't laugh at Tottenham because Man City honestly could do what Newcastle did to Tottenham. They could put 5 past us. I've seen it before. I've seen it with my own 2 eyes. So who knows, man? Who knows? Just please don't get beat badly, Arsenal, man. But please don't lose, Arsenal. That's what I'm saying. Don't lose. A draw, I'd take a draw right now, man. June to July, sorry, not August. Yeah, I mean the season would last that long, but then if you scrap international breaks, you don't need midweek games. You know what I mean? So one of those things. I guess I get off easy in the US, pay $11 a month for Peacock, which is a network streaming service that includes all Premier League matches. There we go. And I've got a friend from university who's from Malaysia, right? And he pays something like $7 a month in, like, it equates to US dollars. And he gets all the games as well. And I'm sitting there, I feel like a mug paying £50 and I don't even get to watch all the games. So yeah, it's crazy, man. It's crazy how unfair it is and how unequitable it is. But look, that's the way it goes. Jeff, I'm thinking of going Peacock with a VPN. I would not blame you one bit, Jeff. I would not blame you one. I would not blame you one bit, Scott. I would not blame you one bit for doing that, man. Do you think Vardy regrets not going to play for Arsenal? 100%. 100%. He should have done it. I was talking about yesterday when people asked me saying, do you think Carrick and company should go to Tottenham? It could ruin their careers, etc. Having a big move. The ship does not set sail twice. Vardy should have gone to Arsenal when we called for him, man. 100%. 100,000%. He regrets it. Whether he says it, he might be someone who says, I don't regret anything in football. I have no regrets in life. Fair enough. But deep down, he knows he should have made the move because now he's at Leicester for the rest of his career. And look, he'll go down as a Leicester legend. Even if he goes to Arsenal, he would have gone down as a Leicester legend. So he should have moved to Arsenal. Go fight for who knows, man. We could have maybe won a league if we had that. If we had the season after Jamie Vardy won the league, we could have won that league. Who knows? But yeah, he definitely regrets it, in my opinion. I had Peacock for a while. I can watch 2 games at one time. There we go. And I use Peacock for the 3 p.m. matches, man. Peacock, NBC streams, etc. It's good, man. It's good. On my computer and TV. Well, there we go. I think Vardy's happy with his career. Yeah, he's happy with his career, but he could have had that big move. Like, Harry Kane will regret not leaving Tottenham, I believe, because he hasn't had that big move. I've got anxiety for the Arsenal game. Well, it's a bit early. There's just under 24 hours to go, man. I'm quite cool right now. It always happens, though, when the coverage starts, like when the program starts on BT Sky, when you see him at the stadium, when you see the teams walking off the bus, that's when it starts to build up for me. That's when I start to get a little bit, like, anxious regarding the game. But I'm cool right now, man. I'm cool. And look, whatever happens, happens. It's out of my control. I've learned to not let things that are out of my control really affect my emotions. It's not a game I can control. I'm not playing. I'm not on the pitch. I'm not managing. So whatever happens, happens, man. I'm not going to let Arsenal ruin my mood. That's my motto for the rest of the time. Don't let Arsenal ruin your mood. I was just thinking about Spurs covering ticket costs for fans that went to Newcastle. Oh, that's what you're referring to. Sorry, yeah. Wouldn't train ticket round trip be most of what those people spent? Probably, because London to Newcastle is quite expensive, man. So yeah, I think it's a good thing they did that, to be honest. Sorry, bro, I have a feeling City will win comfortably like a 4-1. A lot of people predicting that. I don't blame you one bit for predicting that. At least you're honest. If I'm being completely unbiased, I can see Arsenal losing that game badly, because this is the thing with Arsenal, right? We're a young team. And although we've shown lots of improvement, if we go 2-1 down, yeah, we're going to chase. And you never want to be in a position where you chase a game, especially when you're a young team, because we showed against Manchester United at the start of the season. When we chased that game at 2-1 down, United popped us on the counter-attack. If we chase at 2-1 down against Man City or 1-0 down, suddenly it becomes 3-1, 4-1 maybe, and then the game is over. So if you're Arsenal, even against Southampton, when we chased that game, we end up going down 3-1. So if you're Arsenal, even if you go 1-0 down, 2-1 down, don't lose your heads. Don't lose your heads. Don't chase too soon. Keep playing football, and who knows, man? Who knows? I've got some faith. Just the thing is, right, we need to not make any silly mistakes. We need to cut out all silly mistakes, which is easier said than done. Who knows what Arteta does, man? Maybe he reverts formation. We could see Partey at right back, Ben White at centre back. Who knows, man? I cannot wait for the game tomorrow. It's the games you live for, man. And if you're Arsenal Football Club, if you're the Arsenal players on the pitch right now, you got to look at yourselves and go, we've got a chance to be a legend here. Like, there's players before us, the likes of the team that won the league at White Hart Lane, the 1989 team, Mickey Thomas scoring the goal at the end. Like, it's in Arsenal's tradition, it's in Arsenal's DNA to win big matches, to win at your biggest opponents. We've won the league at Old Trafford, we've won the league at White Hart Lane. We can win the league. We've won a league at Anfield. We can win the league at Man City. We've proven in the past we can do it. This is Man City. It's just another team to beat. Arsenal can do. Whether we do or not, that's a whole nother question. But look, I've got faith. I've got faith in the boys. It's do or die. Let's see what happens, man. Leave everything out on the pitch. Leave everything out on the pitch. And if we lose it, it wasn't meant to be. It wasn't meant to be. Spurs fans have no words after that 6-1 loss. What can they say? What can they say? I've seen some people say, is it the manager's fault? Is it the player's fault? It's both, man. It's both. They're both as bad as each other. They both got to look at each other, and I think it will improve. It will improve. Is Xhaka back for tomorrow? He's a doubt, but I think he'll be back. I think he'll be back, to be honest. Tickets also depend on European football. Trust next season will probably raise the ticket prices without Europe. They'll raise it without Europe. No, they'll do the opposite. No, C1, because without Europe, they're gonna have to bring down ticket prices because you get less in your allocation. At least that's what Arsenal do. Arsenal always bring down the season ticket prices when you're not in Europe. They'll for example, they'll put up the prices next season because Arsenal in the Champions League. That's how it will be. Honestly, I think Vardy's happy, club legend. But would he not be a club legend if he left for Arsenal, having won the league with Leicester? I think all those players are club legends. Shinji Okazaki is a club legend, bro. Just winning the league with Leicester. 2-0 loss to Wolves. Had chances, just two mistakes. Tough one to take, but Palace needs to move on and go beat West Ham. Palace will be completely fine, Luke. Don't worry one bit. I'm looking at what Palace do next season, though, because let's be honest, right? Roy Hodgson shouldn't stay there next season. He was retired for a reason. They brought him in just to keep the club afloat and not get relegated. Who'd they go for next season? Another young manager, man. Bring in a young manager and try again. I think you were harsh to sack Vieira because I don't think you're getting relegated. You'll have to start another protest from fresh now. Let's see what they do. Then in Europe, Champions League will cost more than the Europa Conference League, and semi-final games will be more than group stage. Yes, that's how it works. But in terms of the season ticket price, I think it will go down next season for Chelsea because they're not in Europe. Partey at right back is a no-no for me. I'm not a big fan of it either, but a lot of people talk about it just to allow Jorginho to be on the pitch as well. So how it be is, right, of course, Ramsdale in goal. Partey, Ben White, Gabriel, Zinchenko, Jorginho, Xhaka, Odegaard, and obviously play the front three. So basically what it means, right, is you pack out that midfield. Because Partey slots into midfield, Zinchenko slots into midfield. It's a big risk, and it's very offensive. And look, Jack Grealish could have a field day against Thomas Partey. But who knows, man? I'm interested to see what Man City do as well. Do they play Riyad Mahrez on the right, or do they play Bernardo Silva? Because we know Zinchenko is probably going to play tomorrow. And that means that he's going to occupy midfield, meaning the left side's going to be free. So does Pep Guardiola go for Riyad Mahrez, in able to exploit that left-hand side? Because if he plays Bernardo Silva, I'm not worried about Bernardo Silva because Bernardo Silva slots into midfield anyway, meaning that Zinchenko's not leaving anything behind going into midfield. So I'm interested to see what both teams play, what formation both teams play. Let's see what happens, man. Let's see. I can't wait for the game tomorrow. Going to go now. See you, mate. Take care, Luke. I'll be here tomorrow for the Arsenal game. Going to go crazy tomorrow. I hope Arsenal wins. I hope Arsenal win as well, man. I appreciate you into the stream as always. Trouble is, I haven't seen such an animal like Man City. They've been unbelievable. They have been unbelievable. But all good runs come to an end. The thing with Arsenal is, it's crazy. This is the thing with Arsenal, right? Why into the two biggest games of our season, both times playing Man City, have we gone in with terrible form? On both occasions. When we played Man City in February, right? We came off the back of a loss to Everton and a draw to Brentford to then play Man City. Then we got amazing form. And just before the Man City game, again, we draw 3 games in a row. We never go into the Man City game off the back of a win. Never. Never, ever in our time. So why do we always go in terrible form? What that tells me, right, is when the Man City game comes about, the Arsenal players overthink it. They've already got the Man City game in their head, so they don't focus on the games at hand. Probably what happened is, yeah, after the Liverpool game finished, everyone was talking about Man City game, Man City game, Man City game. Lost track of West Ham, lost track of Southampton, and we blew both those matches. Equally, after we lost to Everton, they were saying, oh, Man City game. We got to worry about Man City game. Then we lost track of Brentford and we drew that game as well. The Arsenal fans need to go one game at a time now because, look, if we beat West Ham and beat Southampton, as we should have done so, we should have won both those matches, then the Man City game becomes less important. We can even afford to lose that match, worst come to worst. But now we're going to the Man City game and we have to win. Now, like I said, this is the club's last chance. They've bottled 2 games in a row. They can turn it around with a win here. They can right all the wrongs from the previous 2 weeks if they just win tomorrow. But look, it's easier said than done. It's a tough place to go in a tough game as well, man. Let's see what the club do. Let's see. Vardy shouldn't have moved to a big club like Arsenal. He achieved everything he could have dreamed of at Leicester anyway. Yeah, but like, let's be real, man. Like, you got to move, man. You got to move. Like, if you're Vardy, for me, you're moving, man. Like, wait, hang on a minute. Vardy shouldn't have moved to a big club like Arsenal. He achieved everything he could have won. Oh, should have moved. There we go. I was trying to read it, but that doesn't make sense. There we go. Yeah, exactly. I agree with you. He should have moved. Like, he's won the Premier League with Leicester. What more do you want to do, man? Send you a photo on Instagram. I like the lineup section. I'll check it after the stream, Scott. I'll check it after the stream. Regarding the lineup there. I think ticket price would increase because they need the money to make up losses of Champions League money. You're right, but that's a farce. Imagine not making the Champions League and they put the ticket prices up. Think about that. There's no way they can do that. The fans would revolt. So it's the opposite, Sion. But yeah, I see. From the club's perspective, they're thinking we need the money back. But fans' perspective, you just missed out on Champions League. You played terrible this season. If you're a Chelsea fan, right, Sion, you got a season ticket, yeah? And you've seen how terrible the club's performed. You probably, some of you won't want to renew it. Then you see prices gone up. Suddenly you go, hang on a minute. Look how bad we performed. You want to put the price up again? No chance. I'm not renewing this. So they put the prices down if you don't make Europe. Trust me, 100%. If you know anyone's got a Chelsea season ticket, I promise you next season they'll pay less than they paid this season. I promise you that. Definitely won't go up. Definitely not. It might stay the same, but I doubt it. I think it'll go down. But yeah, let's touch back on this game a little bit because I feel like I should analyze this match a little bit more, given it is the match that I'm talking about, Leeds versus Leicester. 1-1 it finished. Leeds United at home have been struggling this season. And look, they didn't lose this game, but they needed to win. Let me look at the fixtures for both these clubs because this could really dictate who gets relegated or not. Because I do think one of these 2 teams go down. I don't know which of the 2, but I do think one of these 2 teams go down at least. So Leeds United next, they play Bournemouth away. They need to win that match. Bournemouth look like they're going to survive. Away from home against Bournemouth, you have to win that football match, man. You have to. Next, you've got Man City away. That's a tough game. You're losing that match. If you get anything, that's a positive. Then you play Newcastle at home, another tough match. West Ham away, another tough match as well. And then you play Leeds, and then you play Tottenham at home. Leeds United got tough matches. They had to win today, man. Like, you're looking at Bournemouth next week. That's the most winnable game out of all of them. Because then you got Man City, then you got Newcastle, then you got West Ham away, and then Tottenham at home. So you're looking and you're thinking, bloody hell, Leeds had to win today. They didn't. It's going to be a struggle for them. Let's look at Leicester City now because I think Leeds looking like they're going to go down, man. Right, Leicester City, their next fixtures are Everton at home, massive 6-pointer again. Wow, massive 6-pointer. Monday the 1st of May. Then Fulham away. Fulham away, I think Leicester get a result there, you know, because Fulham are safe. They're not really fighting for anything. Liverpool at home, I think they'll struggle. I know Liverpool's away form's been crap, but who knows? I think they'll struggle. Newcastle away, they definitely struggle. And West Ham at home. So I think Leeds got the slightly friendlier fixtures, slightly. But look, I think it's both going to go down to... I think both teams need to win today, man. Let's see what happens. But I think Leeds got more chance going down than Leicester. But who knows, man? Who knows? Appreciate you tuning to the stream as always, Luca. Leeds going down. Agree, man. I agree. One of these 2 teams are going down for sure. I think it's going to be Leeds. Leeds have got City and Newcastle back-to-back. Then Spurs in the final game. Yeah. It's looking rough. It's looking rough for Leeds United, man. I'll be real about it. I don't know if they're staying up. Leicester still have Fulham, Liverpool, and Newcastle. All these teams have got tough fixtures, man. Very tough fixtures. Does Everton stay up, though? Because Everton got some tough fixtures as well. So I'm looking at I'm thinking there's a lot of 6-pointers down the bottom. And draws don't do either team. But the thing is, both teams are scared to lose. Because it is a 6-pointer, I felt that. I felt today both teams tried to win, but neither team wanted to lose. Like, Leicester would rather not lose to Leeds than win the game. And vice versa. Because a loss basically gets that team survival in a way. And plummets you even deeper down into relegation. So I think every team just wants to fight the battle another day. Like, basically, you know what I mean? Like, that's what both teams' mentality was. because neither team wanted to lose this football match. And look, it's the way it goes sometimes. I do think Leeds will go down. I mean, I say my picks: Leeds United, Nottingham Forest, and Southampton. Those are the three that I believe are going to go down. But it changes every week, man. You win a couple games, you're back on top. Like I was saying, Bournemouth are going to get relegated a few weeks ago. Then they turned it around, man. They beat Tottenham, they beat Liverpool, they beat Leicester. Like you get a few wins and you're back on job, man. I think both Leeds, both Leeds Leicester could stay up if Everton go down. Yes, but I do think Everton will stay up personally. I think although it's been wretched, I think their home form will save them. Everton play Man City, right? And that's one of their last home games. Everton will get a result against Man City if that's their final home game of the season and they need a win. Trust me, they will. Man City are a brilliant team, but Everton, team wants to go to Everton away as one of the last games of the season. I promise you that. In Everton that's fighting for survival, that is. If Everton are fighting for survival and you go, that's the one ground I would not want to go to. I'd go to any other ground than Everton fighting for survival, genuinely. I'd rather go White Hart Lane than Goodison Park where survival's on the line because it can be toxic, man. Small pitch, Sean Dyche football. So Man City will struggle in that game. Man City will big time struggle in that game if Everton aren't safe by then. So yeah, that's one game I'm looking at. I'm looking at Brighton away, I'm looking at Everton away, and potentially Brentford away. But that's final game of the season. So who knows if Brentford are going to be really playing that heavy by then. Those are games I'm looking at as potential ones that Man City could slip up. And of course, we've got them tomorrow, so let's see what happens. Do you think Dele will be given a chance from Dyche? Nope. No chance. Dele Alli mess up his career, man. Too lazy. And he's not a Dyche footballer. Dyche, more than anything, wants work ethic. And he wants players that are going to try hard and work hard. Dele Alli doesn't do that. So there's no way he gets in this Dyche team. No way. No way. No any chance, man. No any chance. He's not even getting into the Besiktas team in Turkey. No chance. Bournemouth do amazing for a club of their size. 100%, man. And it's a well-run football club. Very efficiently run football club. So big up them. And Gary O'Neill's done a brilliant job, man. Like, they could have sacked their manager, right? And they could have brought in, like, a safety manager, like a Sal Allardyce type manager. One knows. But no, they went for Gary O'Neill, young manager. And he's done brilliantly. Done very well, man. I wish him all the best. If Everton is fighting for survival and City need to win for the title, who wins? Everton. Or draw. Everton gets something. Trust me, guys. If Everton are fighting for survival and it's that game is do or die for Everton, Everton gets a result. I'm not saying they win, but they get at least a draw. Everton is worst place to go when they're fighting for something. I promise you that, man. I promise you. It's the most worst place you can go. So if Everton need a result to survive in the Premier League, they get something against any team. Man City, Real Madrid, Arsenal, you name it. They'll get something. I promise you that. Everton play Newcastle at home. They're losing. Leicester away. Inshallah, Leicester win. Just so Everton have got something to fight for against Man City. Brighton away. They're losing that as well. And then City at home. Wolves away. Bournemouth. So this is the thing, man. That's ruined my mood a little bit because I thought the City game was the penultimate game because they can afford to lose to City now because then they've got Wolves and Bournemouth, which I think they'll win both those games because Wolves will be safe by then and Bournemouth on the final day at home, you should win that football match. That if it was the other way around, if the City game was where the Bournemouth game was and Everton needs survival, Everton get a result. Now I'm not too sure because they've got the safety barrier of Wolves and Bournemouth next. It's not do or die in that Man City game. But let's see, man. Let's see. Look, if they lose the next 3 matches, which they definitely can do, if they lose to Newcastle, if they lose to Leicester, if they lose to Brighton, and then they go to play City and they're bottom of the table, for example, then it becomes a do or die match. So let's see, man. Let's see. I've got faith in Everton, man. Everton, pull it out for me, bro. The Toffees. Come on. I'm looking for something from you lot. But yeah, the relegation fight is crazy, man. That's what today's been about. The Premier League was kind of smart how they did it, man. They made today the relegation fights, tomorrow the title race, and then Thursday the race for top 4 in a way. So each day I could talk about something different. Today relegation, those are my teams, man. Those are my teams going down. Leeds United, Nottingham Forest, and Southampton. It'll be a shame to see Forest go down, given they just came up after so long not being in the Premier League. But hey, if you don't perform to the top of your ability, that's what happens, man. That's what happens in football. You can always be on the top of your ability. They haven't been Nottingham Forest, man. They had a good like middle part of the season, but since then it's fallen off, man. Too many signings. The thing is with Dele Alli is he had a terrible upbringing. Complex PTSD is a thing, and very self-destructive. I have sympathy for him. Look, I have sympathy for a lot of people. I never bash any footballers, but I don't like footballers that didn't put in the work. And look, you can say his upbringing, etc. I get it, man. But genuinely, right? There's players that have had a worse upbringing than him, and they're putting work. And anything that should be even more of like a what's the word? That should be even more of an incentive to put in the work because you know like where you've been and you know you need to work harder to get where you're at. But he's just a lazy guy, man. Lazy. Like when people compare the Dele Alli situations, like Mason Mount, like at Chelsea, I think it's nowhere near. I think Mason Mount, if he goes to Arsenal, goes to Liverpool, he has a brilliant career. Just the Mason Mount's not lazy. It's just the environment is not right for him. He's lost confidence in his game. Dele Alli, he lost confidence in his game. He doesn't work hard and he's lazy. And his career has fallen to pieces. And it's a shame. It's not a shame for me because I'm an Arsenal fan. I didn't want him to have a good career. But what I saw him do for Tottenham, having come from MK Dons and completely tear up the Premier League in the 16-17 season, scoring brilliant goals, man. It was brilliant, man. To see where he's got to now, it's got to be one of the biggest fall-offs in Premier League history. It has to be. Has to be one of the biggest fall-offs. Like, one of the biggest wasted potentials. A definition of a failed wonder kid. Let's check Forest running. Brilliant idea. Brilliant idea. Forest running. Let's have a butchers. Nottingham Forest fixtures. These are one of the teams I expect to go down. But let's see the fixtures, man. I'm making these predictions not even based looking at the fixtures. Let's see. All right. Nottingham Forest's next game is tomorrow against Brighton at home. I think they lose, but look, they're at home. The home games, you have to get something. I don't care who you play. If you play Man City, Brighton, Southampton, get something from your home matches if you're Forest. They play Brighton at home tomorrow. Obviously, I won't be watching. I'm watching the Man City Arsenal game. I think they can get a point against Brighton, maybe. Like, it's a home game. Brighton play really good football, but at home, why not? Brentford away, they'll struggle. Southampton at home, that's a relegation 6-pointer. That's a relegation 6 points against Southampton at home. I think they get a result there. I genuinely think they do. Chelsea away, I think they struggle, to be honest. I think Chelsea, even if they're terrible form, will beat Forest at home. Arsenal at home. Now, this is the thing, right? This is the thing. I just said how about Everton got Man City at home final day. Or, sorry, the third game to last. Nottingham Forest got Arsenal at home in their final home game of the season. Now, I do not want to be going to Forest as an Arsenal fan if they need survival, going to the City ground. I don't want that. So, honestly, if Forest needs survival and Arsenal, let's say Man City have run away from the title by then, I think Arsenal capitulate in that game, genuinely. If Man City win tomorrow and it's like a 4-point gap with 2 games left, I think Arsenal capitulate at Forest and the title's over at Forest. Genuinely, I think that. Man, because Forest final day, second to last game, their final home game, them knowing they need the points, it's not a position I want to be in if I'm Arsenal. So I back Forest to get at least a point in that game, to be honest, against Arsenal at home. And then final game of the season, Crystal Palace. I mean, they just got to hope Crystal Palace don't play football that day, which can happen because it's a mid-table team. They're not fighting for anything. So, yeah, look, I think Forest definitely out of all the teams got the most favourable running. Let's be real about it. Compared to Leicester and Leeds, definitely. But let's see. Compared to Leicester and Leeds, I think Forest got very favourable running. I'll be honest about it. Will not dispute he was lazy. Very lazy indeed, man. Dele Alli wasted time, 100%. Failed wonder kid. FA Cup hangover for Brighton, maybe. Maybe, but I don't think there should be because when I look at the balance of that game, right, obviously I missed the regular time. I only watched extra time in that match and penalties. But from what I've heard from people and I saw the highlights, Brighton played really good. Like, they played better football than Manchester United. You lose on penalties, it can happen, man. It can happen. Any team can lose to penalties. Trust me. So if you're Brighton, don't beat yourself up too much about it. You've had a brilliant season under De Zerbi since he's been back. So I wouldn't look at it too deep. If I'm Brighton, man, you bounce back. You still can fight for Europe. You can still make it into European positions. I think you will. Who knows, man? Who knows? Southampton played Bournemouth, Newcastle, Forest, Fulham, Brighton, Liverpool. Bloody hell, but that's a nice run in, though. Bournemouth at home, they should win. Forest away, they can get a result. Fulham at home, they should win because Fulham aren't fighting for anything. Brighton away, tough. And Liverpool at home, final day. Well, look, if you need the result, and Liverpool might not be fighting for anything bad, and who knows, they might get a result there as well. They're going down as their bottom. They need to win at Arsenal. They did need to win at Arsenal. That's the thing, right? Draws aren't helping teams anymore, man. Draws are not helping teams. So let's see. Let's see what happens. You don't want to play teams that need the points. Exactly. Because this is why I said, don't even bother looking at the table anymore. Momentum's so massive, and every team's fighting for something. Like Bournemouth beat Tottenham, like in the last second. Southampton got a point at Arsenal. This is why I say Arsenal bottling it. Because trust me when I say this, right? If Arsenal play West Ham and Southampton at any other point of the season in December, November, Arsenal win those games easy. Easy, man. But because it's the end of the season, because it's April, because both the teams are fighting for something, Arsenal capitulate and we wobble. So let's see how we perform tomorrow. Because trust me, if we wobble anything like West Ham and Southampton, we're not even going to try and salvage a point. We're going to try and salvage not losing 6-0 if we wobble against Man City. So let's be real about it. Let's see how Arsenal perform tomorrow. You don't want to play teams towards the bottom, man. Man City are used to that. Arsenal not. So let's see. Let's see, man. Everything's pointing in the direction of Man City to go on and win the league. The only thing that was saving Arsenal was their games in hand, but even that buffer's gone now. So let's see what happens. John Joe Shelby dropped from Nottingham Forest. Not surprised in his last game. 20 diagonal crosses and 20 intercepted. He's past it, man. It's not the Newcastle John Joe Shelby anymore. He's well past it for Nottingham Forest. Nottingham Forest bought too many players, man. Like, You can't keep buying players and expect them all to gel. It doesn't work like that. Like, it doesn't work anything like that. You got to make sure you have some kind of chemistry. And you know, you get chemistry is from having the same type of team and the same selection, all that stuff. And Nottingham Forest can exhibit that. I mean, Keylor Navas has been their best player and one of their best signings, but you surrounded him with about 400 other signings. It doesn't work. It doesn't work for me. Bournemouth got Southampton away, Leeds at home, Chelsea at home, Palace away, United at home, Everton away. They'll stay up. Yeah, fine run of fixtures. Definitely. Bournemouth are staying up, man. And fair play, because a lot of people are picking them to go down. Genuinely, a lot of people were saying that they're 100% going down. So there we go. What's your prediction for the Manchester City versus Arsenal match? Be honest. Okay. Arsenal players don't watch it, so I don't want to feed any negativity. But my man Tommy said be honest. So I have to be honest, because he said be honest. I don't want to feed any negativity, but my genuine thoughts how the game goes tomorrow. Man City win. I can't see Arsenal winning. I can't. I'm going to try and be as positive as possible. I can't see us beating Man City tomorrow. Genuinely, I can't see it. If we come out and we beat Man City tomorrow, I'll come out here and I'll give someone £5 or £10 or something. Because I genuinely cannot see it happening. I cannot see us beating Man City tomorrow one bit. I'd love for it to happen. Genuinely, I'd love it. But I can't. I can't. If I had to predict right now, I'm predicting 3-1 Man City. 3-1 Man City is my predictions. But yeah, I can't. I'd love for it to happen. And who knows, man. But I'll be real. I said my prediction is 3-1 City because I can't. I can't. Even if we go 2-0 up, what's the confidence I've got that we're going to stay 2-0 up? We bottled a 2-0 lead at Anfield. Fair enough, that's Anfield. We bottled a 2-0 lead at West Ham. Like, where's the confidence even if we go 2 up? I don't know what we can do. If we go 3-1 down, like we did Southampton, we ain't winning that game. If we go 2-0 up, there's no guarantee we win that game. So who knows, man? Who knows? I think City 3-2. Look, if it happens, it happens, man. Whatever happens, happens. That's my motto about it, man. Don't let Arsenal ruin your day. That's my motto. Hate to say it, but I think City 3-1. That's my prediction as well. But look, Arsenal players don't watch this. I don't want to feed in negativity. The boys can do it. We can do it. And look, it's a football game. Anything can happen in football. If Everton got a point against Man City at the Etihad, Arsenal can. But I can't personally see. Also because Man City are tryhards when it comes to Arsenal, man. I remember when they played us in February. I was so confident we'd win that game. So confident. That game 15th of February, I was so confident we'd win because City, like, we missed Partey, and that's what kind of threw my confidence because Partey just was missing for that game for some reason. I don't know what it was. Apparently an injury or something. I think it was a court case. Let's be real about it. But yeah, going into that game, genuinely, I was like, Man City are playing terrible. I played Bernardo Silva left back and all that stuff. I genuinely thought we'd beat Man City at home. I couldn't see us losing. I thought minimum we'd get is a point against Man City. I wouldn't have been happy with a point. Now when we go to the Etihad, there's a complete switch. Man City now look focused. They're targeting all the games. They're the team to beat, not losing any matches. They're fully the momentum. I mean, they beat Bayern Munich 4-1 in aggregate. They did not concede a goal from open play over 2 legs against Bayern Munich. That is a sight to behold. And even the penalty was dodgy. Man City are quality, man. So we're gonna have to be on top form to win that game. I don't see it. I'd love for it to happen, but I just don't see it personally, man. West Ham is safe. But yeah, Liverpool at home, I think they'll get a result against Liverpool at home. Palace away, can get a result. Let's see what happens with Palace. City away, they'll lose. United at home, I think they'll get a result. Then they've got the Europa Conference League games. Leeds at home, they'll win that game. Leicester, well, they might win. Let's see what Leeds are fighting. And then Leicester away, they'll be safe by then. They probably won't care. So let's see, man. Let's see what happens. Weird thing, but tough running, but they're 6 points clear, so we'll see for them. Now, West Ham is safe. 100% West Ham is safe, man. And they've been safe this whole season. They've got too much quality with Declan Rice, etc. And look, a lot of people slagged off Declan Rice. I've never slagged off that guy in my life. Look who's come to play football now, yeah? Declan Rice has been immense in the last few matches. Immense. The big player stood up when he was counted. Same with Maddison today. Maddison today was really good for Leicester, genuinely, so good. If we sit back and invite them to bring it on, we will have no chance. Best form of defense with City is attack. Yes, but not naive attack with Man City. You can't just free-flowing attack because they'll pick you off the break. We can't make mistakes, number one, because 2 goals we can see to Man City were both mistakes. First, Tomiyasu with criminal mistake. Then Gabriel, the second goal, just passed it to Bernardo Silva. So no mistakes. And defend brilliantly, defend coherently, and attack when you can. But also show a threat. Because I saw Bayern Munich have chances. And I saw in the second half when Leicester played Man City, Leicester have chances. So there will be chances for Arsenal in this game. We ain't going to go throughout this whole game not having a single chance to score. We will. It's whether we take it and whether we defend well. This is how I look at it, yeah? If this game's played 9-10 times, Arsenal win 1 game out of those 10 times. So we got to make sure that 1 game is tomorrow. That's how I look at it. Because if you play a game 10 times, Man City win it 9 times out of 10. They do, because they've got enough quality, and I guarantee Man City will have more chances tomorrow than Arsenal. But we just got to hope and pray that at one time tomorrow is near flawless for Arsenal. Arteta came out and said that performance needs to be near flawless, and he's right. We need to be pretty much practically flawless. We need Ramsdale on top job. Our keeper needs to be at it, because Ramsdale's been poor recently. Suspect against Southampton. I think that second goal against West Ham was suspect. We need the back four to be on job, no mistakes. We need Jesus to bring his goals to the party, because I think he missed some clear chance against Southampton. And also we need Saka Martinelli on top job. But we can get a result. We can. They're missing Ake, who's been one of their best players this season, unsung hero for them. So let's see. But look, I'm looking forward to, obviously my stream will be here tomorrow at 10 p.m. I hope to start it. Let's see what happens, man. Let's see. Hoping and praying that we get a result, man. Absolutely hoping and praying. But yeah, I'm going to start to wrap up this stream now, as it is over an hour long. I'll be here, of course, tomorrow to talk about everything regarding the title race. Let me end by asking all you lot to leave in your live chat your 3 teams get relegated. I want to see all you lot's 3 teams get relegated. And then after that, I'll end the stream. Tomorrow it's all about title race. So bring all your title race questions, all that stuff. That's what we're going to be talking about. And then, of course, on Thursday, make sure to tune into the stream. Then 10:15, the stream will start straight after Manchester United Tottenham. We'll be talking all about the race for Europe. So today was relegation battle. I appreciate everyone's questions regarding that. Tomorrow it's all about the title race. And then on Thursday, 10:15 p.m. stream, all about the race for Europe, Champions League, Europa League, etc. That's the plan. Sounds good? But yeah, good luck tomorrow. I appreciate it, Jeff, man. I genuinely really appreciate it. We're going to need it. We're going to need it, man. Arsenal fans unite. Arsenal fans pray. Anyone that's got a birthday, I mean, I know what I wish for in my birthday on Sunday. So yeah, come on, Arsenal, man. Southampton Leeds Leicester. Not the same as, yeah, Southampton Leeds, I agree with. I put Forest instead of Leicester. But interesting. If Leicester go down, that is a massive scalp to get relegated. My days would it be. Absolutely humongous scalp to get relegated. Let's see, man. Let's see. But yeah, I appreciate everyone tuning to the stream as always. Make sure you subscribe if you're new around here. If you just tuned in right now, scroll back to the start so you can hear my thoughts all about the game and all about the relegation battle. Appreciate everyone tuning in. Make sure you like the video if you're new around here. See how it goes. Southampton, Everton, and Leicester. So very similar, but Everton instead of Leeds. If Everton and Leicester go down, that would be massive. Absolutely massive for the Premier League. To see those 2 massive teams go down, man. Crazy. Today's relegation prediction, Southampton, Nottingham Forest, Everton. So no one's got the same as me. I might as well add mine in here while I can. Southampton. What happened? Southampton, Forest, and Leeds. Those are my teams to go down. So none of the big scalps like the Leicesters, the Evertons, etc. Southampton, Nottingham Forest, Everton's are big teams. Everton and Forest, of course, is a massive old club. I looked at the fixtures this side. That's the smart thing to see, man. I kind of just winged it, man. I just winged it based on momentum and what I've seen from all the teams. I've watched a lot of football, and what I've seen from the teams, that's what I'm kind of thinking. Like, Leeds, porous at the back. Forest can't defend for their life, and they're not getting enough goals. I don't think their strike force is good enough, even with Morgan Gibbs-White and Brennan Johnson. And Southampton, just too much of a gap now to recover. Too much of a gap to recover. And I think that Arsenal, the fact they didn't win that game will take a lot out of Southampton. That's just my opinion on it. Take care, bro. Appreciate it, Tommy. Good show, mate. Appreciate it, Scott. Indeed. I appreciate everyone tuning in as always. If you're new around here, make sure you subscribe. Drop a like down below. And if you're watching this, now the stream's done, you're watching it as a video on YouTube, make sure you let me know in the comment section your thoughts on the match and your thoughts regarding the relegation battle. I'll be here tomorrow for the massive one, the big stream, my biggest stream this whole season. I want to see everyone tune in for Man City versus Arsenal right here on YFootball at 10 p.m. You have to be here, man. It will either be a rant or it'll be me super delighted. If Arsenal win, someone's getting paid. Someone's getting paid from the stream. So let's see. I appreciate everyone tuning in. I hope to see you all in the next one. Take care.